Welcome to the Marriage Game Plan podcast, where we help couples build healthy relationships through faith, love, and strategy. I'm George.
And I'm Tandra, and we are so glad you're here.
For over 15 years, we've been helping coach couples from NFL locker rooms to everyday living rooms on how to win in marriage, not just survive.
Whether you're newlyweds, seasoned teammates, or somewhere in between, this podcast is your bi-monthly huddle for real talk, practical plays, and fresh game plans to help you win your home game.
And if you're single and hoping to be married one day, this is your podcast for practical insights and tools to help you enter into marriage with clarity, confidence, and purpose.
So grab your spouse or just your headphones,
and let's build a championship level marriage together. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Marriage Game Plan podcast. And today we've got an exciting episode. We've got our friends Jamie Yuccas and Douglas Green. They've been together since 2021, but married since 2024. Doug, as you'll hear, he's an Aussie. He's an Aussie scientist and a well-deserved father.
Yes, and Jamie is an anchor on CBS LA Mornings. You guys probably have seen her.
That's right.
George and I got an opportunity back in early August to be interviewed by her and Sheba about our book, The Marriage Game Plan, and
That's right.
we had a blast.
We had such a blast.
Clicked.
That's right. And we're going to include the link to that show in the show notes, or you could just go Google George and Tandra Gregory on KCAL. So Jamie and Douglas, welcome to the Marriage Game Plan podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So something that you shared with us that I feel like our audience will want to hear is that you are so passionate about community and blended families. So share with us more about that.
Well, I think I'll kick things off because as a stepmom and step-parent, there are no good resources for people. So as a journalist, I'm entering this relationship with this man who has a son going, okay, I'm going to be able to find everything I need to know. Wait, there is nothing.
Wow.
Or there is bad information.
Yes.
Or everyone is online just complaining about their situation.
Yeah.
And so I've really kind of dug in and tried to find the right resources and people. And I say that we're passionate about community because I think we've kind of built a little bit of community around that, wanting it to make it a more positive space for people, not a negative space.
That's awesome to hear. There does need to be a lot of support around blended families. There's not a lot of resources, but more and more there are blended families who need resources to help with that transition. Douglas, what about for you? How has it been blending and being a part of this blended family?
It wasn't easy at the beginning because it's all very new, and especially when you already have a son who already sees a mother figure in their life, and then all of a sudden, as I'm going on my journey and going back out in the world and wanting to, find another partner, if you will, and then I find this beautiful human that comes into my life, and I want to introduce you to my son, and it's like, wow, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah.
And then having him seeing this other human, that means a lot to me. It's really interesting how we sort of went about trying to do that and blend it in and have our son sort of go, oh wow, this is someone important in not just my dad's life, but also going to be important in my life. So, or in his life, I should say.
Sure. Sounds like what you were doing is you were bringing the best of both your worlds into each other's existence and presence, right?
That's the best way of putting it. Absolutely. But it's not just me. I mean, Jamie put so much effort in, especially into when first meeting my son, and how to go about slowly integrating that sort of existence of this other person in my life. So that was very interesting in how we went about doing it. It was a slow burn, but the slow burn paid off really well.
Exciting. So listen, if there are not very many resources on this out there, I think I'm hearing you say, Jamie, that you might be creating some resources to help us out.
I mean, with what Doug's saying is we really were intentional and we took it very slowly. I know people, when they get together and they fall in love, they want their worlds to come together, right? They want everybody to get along and be together. But it was really, we stepped back and said, we both came to an agreement, I'm not going to meet him until we're together for X amount of time.
We even went back to his therapist at the time, and I literally had a one-on-one session with my son's therapist for 35, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said, what is really the best way to tackle this? Because I want to make sure this integration process is really clean for my son, because we like to view everything from the lens of him and how best we can go about doing that. So, and that was to go about things very slowly and deliberately, but very slowly.
And then even moving in together, it was interesting because you think okay, we'll make a moving day and everything will be fine. No. I slowly moved in over several weeks.
Okay.
Just kind of decided like on a Friday, maybe I'll come over, we'll have pizza, and then I'll go home.
Yeah.
Slowly get him used to me being there versus forcing myself
Very
into the
slowly.
space.
Sure.
You
That's
know?
awesome. My dad's always taught me in marriage. He says slow is faster, actually.
Yeah.
Right. And we're on the Marriage Game Plan podcast. And that is a part of a game plan, is not to do things expeditiously all the time or in our own timing, but to have the timing of others, especially when we talk about our children or children from previous relationships. And so awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I really like the way you prioritize him getting comfortable and used to it, because you all know that you want to be together and you didn't try to put that on him. But I like that you prioritize that transition. And sometimes when we're blending families, we're so ready to just be a family that we forget, no, like it is a process of blending a family, and it starts long before you get married. So good.
Right. So we jumped in talking about your son, but here's what we know, right? On the Marriage Game Plan podcast, we know that all love stories begin with the beginning, right?
Yes.
So tell us, how'd you guys fall in love and meet and fall in love?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of a funny story because there's a very simple answer and then there's a more complicated answer. So we met on Hinge, a dating app.
Okay.
The app meant to be deleted.
Designed to be deleted.
Or designed to be deleted.
Yes.
But I was never going to online date. This is not something I was going to do. Obviously, I'm in the public eye, as you guys know. I was absolutely adamant against it. I worked for CBS National News for almost 10 years here in Los Angeles. And I had a producer I worked very, very closely with, Alyssa Estrada. And Alyssa one day came to me and said, you just need to get back out there. I'd been dating. I dated some, people that were okay, but not really the one. And she's like, you just got to get back out there. Because what she would see me do is I'd break up with someone and then I would like be a recluse and not like leave my house.
Yes.
Not doing anything. And I was like, I'll in my own time. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And she said, well, actually, you are online dating right now. Here's your profile.
Whoa.
You're on Hinge and you're on Bumble. And I was like,
Oh, yeah?
and it was literally a day or two before I was leaving to go cover the Olympics in Tokyo.
Oh, wow.
And I said, why would I do this now? I'm going to be gone like 3 weeks, almost a month. And she said, you're going to start playing my rules. If the man is not willing to wait almost a month to date you, they're not worth dating.
Ooh.
And so I went, you know what? I've been doing it my way.
Yeah.
It's not working. I'll do it Alyssa's way.
Yeah.
And we started texting away
When
in
you're in Japan.
Tokyo.
In Tokyo. So I had a picture up on my page that I'd been to Japan quite a bunch for work, and obviously I had a picture where it was blurred in the background was a temple. I said, "Where am I?" And then one day I get this message through the app, and it's like Japan, and I was like, "Oh my God, she knew!" It's like, "Oh, how did you know?" And I wrote back, "Oh my God, how did you know?" There was a
And I'm like, I'm
picture.
here.
I'm here. It's like, "Oh, you're in Japan right now," and we started on this 2-week text fest, if you will,
Okay.
through the platform. And eventually you were coming home, and we decided we'd have a first date.
Aw.
And it was sort of funny because Jamie just got back, and because of the nature of her business, she's like, well, we were going to meet in Santa Monica. And she's like, well, I've got to go all the way down to Orange County today, and then I've got to come all the way back into the valley, and then we've got to bounce back over to Santa Monica. And I went, well, why don't I meet you in the valley? And Jamie was like, oh.
It's like green flag.
Okay.
He's willing to
He's ready to
drive.
relocate and do something different. Okay.
Yes.
I figured why not? And then I went, well, can we have sushi? And I went, she's just been in Japan for 2 weeks, and I'm just like, can we have sushi? She's like, oh, great. All I want is a steak. But she was like, sure, no problem.
Well, it sounds like you all are giving some hope to the online dating process, because lots and lots of singles are meeting online and getting married through meeting online. So, and there are some horror stories out there, but there are just as many, if not more, beautiful love stories that unfold by meeting online.
I do think you have to be intentional about that. If there's a word maybe today, it's intentional.
Yeah.
That, like if you're going on there and you don't really want to be in a relationship, then don't be on some of these apps, but if I think we both were in the place that we were both divorced. We had both gone to individual therapy. We had done work on ourselves, and we were there to find someone. And so I think when I met Doug and realized that's where he was at too, it was like, okay.
Right.
It was an intentional. I wanted to meet
Sure.
the
So
next person for the rest of my life.
So you meet, you fall in love, but what were you looking for when you thought about a future spouse, right? Somebody to say forever, forever, forever. What were you looking for?
Well, so what's funny is, so when I went through my divorce, another Olympics. I was, it was Rio
Redemption
2060.
Olympics.
Yes, I actually said I should do like a journey of Olympics, my love life. But it was during the Rio Olympics of 2016, and my stepfather was alive at the time, and I had a close relationship with him, which has carried over, I think, into me being a step parent. But I remember him saying he had been in mining and gone all around the world. And he said, you really should be with a Brazilian or an Australian. They love life like you do. Like you're not just passionate, like you love life. You have this energy, and it doesn't match American men. Like you need, and it's not like I intentionally went, okay, I'm going to go find a Brazilian or Australian. Yeah. But I had family in Australia. I'd been going to Australia since I was 19. I've always loved Australia. And so then when we met, and we started connecting, and I've been to more of Australia than Doug has.
So that's another story.
But I think you appreciated that I also had the connection
Oh, absolutely.
to Australia.
Yeah, but I mean, I was looking for someone that was, a solid and purposeful intention that was going to be able to handle. Obviously, I already had a son, so it's going to be able to handle that, which is a big deal. Like,
Sure.
Having to go, well, that's your kid, not my kid. And someone that had a zest for life. Really wanted to jump out there and re-go another round, but pretend it's like round one. Not just, here we go again. This is my second marriage.
Yeah.
Sure, I want it to be something fresh and unique.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So what are some of the values and principles that you want to have in your marriage and in your life together?
Well, I think we're both. Well, you want to go?
No.
You look like you're ready to go.
No.
Like we're both such adventurous people, and I feel since Doug and I have been together, I've said this to Doug before, he has provided me a love I haven't ever had in my life, where I feel like I've been able to grow into the person that I really am meant to be, and I just want to continue growing.
Sure.
I want to find more passions in my life and things that are interesting to me, or that I'm can help build community around. So I think we there's small values, like we eat dinner at the dinner table every night. No phones allowed, no electronics allowed. To bigger things of just
Present and purposeful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about growth, right? So many times, what we're finding out is that sometimes people go into marriage and they don't want to grow. They want to be the same. They,
Don't do that.
a young lady who will remain nameless.
I'm sorry, that's me. I came into marriage.
Told me when we were first married, she said, you knew who you were.
You knew who I was before you married me. Don't try to change me. And so that I've quickly learned that growth and change is a part of a healthy relationship. So
And I don't think you should change for the other person per se, right? But you can grow into maybe the better version of yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, growth is evolving.
Yes,
We're all supposed to evolve over time and get better.
Yes.
I totally agree. I think you should focus more on the growth part than the change part. Growth gives you so much more opportunity that you didn't think you had before, and then you'll look back over your shoulder and go, "Wow, didn't I grow?" Sure, and look, I have changed through the growth that I went through. So I think that's a really important thing to focus on.
Absolutely.
And it's hard
Flexibility.
because growth and change are not easy, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But if you can do that, and you see where your relationship goes with your partner through it, you sort of go, "Oh, wow, this is another dimension I never thought about."
Yeah.
Well, and I think what you're alluding to is that we call each other growth mates.
Yes,
Sure.
We don't call each other soulmates, and we use that in our vows at our weddings.
Wait,
that
can you say that? Can you say that one more time?
again. That's
we are
profound.
growth mates, not soulmates.
Wow.
Because I think if you're a soulmate, we're in love, we're together, everything's going to be perfect. If you're a growth mate, you've made the dedication that you are going to choose each other every day and allow each other to grow into the best of who the two of you are.
That's beautiful.
That is
That's
a
beautiful.
wonderful value.
I want to say to our listeners out there today, listen, if you want to take any nugget from today's conversation, listen, you are growth mates, not just soulmates or not soulmates. You are growth mates. And that helps us to build our marriage game plan, I think, one step at a time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when it comes down to, we have a section called Facing Opponents, right? And, we're NFL chaplains, and we hear that you guys like
you are? I didn't wear my Chargers sweatshirt for nothing.
That's right. But Jamie, now you have on a Chargers sweatshirt, but are you a Chargers fan?
Well, here's the thing. I tell everyone, I'm a Minnesota Viking fan.
Okay.
And if anyone actually does follow the NFL, they know that that is the most heartbreaking team that you can follow. We've never won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Every time we get close, we choke. We've been through like 8 quarterbacks in 6 or 7 years. It is, yeah, probably. It is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've now lived in LA almost 10 years.
Okay.
This year, I got my first ever tattoo of a California poppy.
Okay.
So maybe I'm slowly finding myself.
Growth.
Maybe I'm
That's right.
growing
You're
into a
evolving.
Charger fan. Maybe I'm
Growing
growing
into a
a
Charger
Charger. Yes,
fan, evolving
maybe.
into it.
We'll see where it
Well,
goes.
welcome to the dark side. How about that? Welcome to the, and Douglas, what's your team?
Oh boy, this is going to create a lot of controversy. New England Patriots.
Okay.
Okay.
He's Australian. Why does he even like football?
I was gonna say I didn't even know
Long
that
story.
NFL football was a
And
Australian
it
thing.
started and it started. Oh, funnily enough, it started during the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. Olympic theme.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't need to go there. It'll take a long time.
Well, that's interesting, right? Knowing that we all have a love for NFL teams and competition, we understand.
He only likes this team because one of the players reminds him of a rugby union player.
Is that it? So
Teddy Bruschi, you know who you are.
the truth comes out. Wow. Wow.
I love it. We all have our reasons, right, for the teams that we support.
We
It wasn't.
do.
It wasn't Brady. It was Teddy Bruschi.
Well, whatever sports
Linebacker.
team we root for, right, or whatever league that we root for, what we know is that we have opponents
Yeah.
that we face, and that's no different in our marriage, right? So we look at each other all the time and we say happily ever after soon wears out or wears over.
Oh, yeah. The
Once you
dust
get
does
married,
settle,
right?
yeah.
The dust does settle. So in your marriage, right, we want to know, how do you overcome certain things in your marriage? Or let me say it like this: what are a few challenges that you faced in your marriage, right? And how do you work together to overcome those challenges?
I'm going to try to very carefully articulate this. When you do go to blend families, it is not just about your future partner and the child who you are being very intentional about, but there's usually another adult human being in the room, right, who is the biological parent, who should have total say over medical decisions and school decisions and all the big things because they're in it. And it can also be very difficult because I don't know this person.
Right.
I don't have a history with this person. I don't know how the two of them fought.
Sure.
I don't know what their repair cycle was or what. And so not only sometimes when you're fighting, you're like, wait, do you think I'm your ex? Because that's not like, what are you thinking right now? But also sometimes information from the other household that you're like, how am I going to process that and handle that?
Yeah.
Do I want to escalate this and maybe cause problems in my relationship because this other person is deciding to have input, or am I going to just like let it be and deal with it? And that gets really, really hard. And I think in the beginning,
Well, I think at the beginning too, my boundaries weren't probably set properly. I think too, and I think that was something that I had to learn in going into our relationship. Was like, oh, my boundaries were a little lax, and I need to put those in place, not to be cruel to anybody, but also to prioritize and to make sure that Jamie's getting my full devotion and love in the correct way. And in doing that, I need to set boundaries around particular things, and I think I was not good at doing that in the beginning. So that was a challenge. That wasn't easy for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I had to learn along the way. Therapy helped.
yeah,
Couples therapy helped.
Okay.
we love Dwayne.
We love Dwayne.
All right.
He's our therapist.
We just put it out there.
We adore him.
You know our therapist name.
Oh, he was in our vows
He was
too.
in our vows as well. But I think that was a big challenge, and I think it was harder on me maybe sometimes because it was a blurred line for me. I didn't understand it very well, but I think Jamie saw it very clearly,
Yeah.
and so I had to go. I went, right, I got to pull my socks up here and do some homework on this, and it's on me.
Yeah.
It's on me,
I
and
love
to
that.
realize that and to fill those shoes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you can identify, right, boundaries, which is, I think a lot of couples, they need to understand what boundaries are, right? Boundaries of opposite sex, or too much social media time or phone time, or we're doing so much that we probably should stop. But then what you talked about was really slowing down, asking the right questions. We can be responsive, we can be explosive, but when you ask the right questions, then sometimes you can can learn what to say and what not to say just by reading the moment, which really talks about a healthy game plan.
Yeah, and it takes so much self-control and maturity.
Oh, and I didn't always have it.
Okay.
I'm not perfect.
Yes.
There are definitely moments.
Yes.
If
But-
this
but you
other
were-
party was here, she'd probably tell you that. So I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, so it's a part of the growth, right?
Yes.
It's a part of the
Yes.
growth. And I do love that you are, it's like a part of blending families is also like there is another parent
Yeah.
in this circle that we have to learn how to navigate. And we can't like separate that because it's best for the child
Totally.
when we can all be on the same team and supporting each other and supporting the child. And it is very difficult to do that unless you have
Yeah.
3 adults who are at that level of
Yeah.
maturity
Sure.
and self-control and to keep the big picture in mind of what we're building together.
Well, I love what you said about we're on the same team, because when we talk about we're on the same team in the book, we're talking about as couples.
Yeah.
But we're exploring more with that now because it's the same team as far as with blended families. It's not just you as a couple, but it's the child, it's the other parent, it's the other in-laws that are coming in and things of that nature. And so that's awesome. You're on the same team. You were about to say
Well,
something?
and I just appreciate. So the funny thing for me is that I very much was like, I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent. I'm not a parent. And he would kind of look at me and be like, well, what do you think you're doing? You know?
Let me take you back to our first couples therapy session. And Dwayne literally looks at Jamie and goes, but you are a parent.
And I went,
You are now a parent, whether you like it or not.
Oh.
You are a parent.
but I never wanted to step on the other person's toes. I never, but now I do own, I am parenting this kid. And he will, because sometimes I'll still say, well, I'm not the biological parent, so I can't make, and he's like, but you're a parent.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, thank you. Validation.
Jamie, it's apparent that you are a parent. Okay?
Yes. And I grew up in a single parent household with my mom. And that's something that she always said, we come as a package deal. If you want me,
did.
you want my child. And if you want my child, you want me.
Yeah.
Like we come together. And so, yeah, that's just a part of what you're marrying into.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
hey, like this is a part of the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, we hope you are enjoying this episode. We also wanted to let you know we offer relationship coaching for individuals, couples, and groups needing more personal hands-on support and guidance.
Yeah, the book a session. You simply go to our website. Now let's jump back into today's episode.
So another question is, how have you learned to support each other's strengths and differences?
Well, the funny thing, what do you think our differences are?
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, tell us.
I don't know.
Like, that's the funny thing is people meet us and we're both like very goofy.
okay.
Goofy, giggly, great sense of humor.
Like we're both very people oriented.
Very much so.
Um,
So it's more about building up our strengths
yeah.
and going, yeah.
But I do tell people, I think when I said earlier, like Doug has given me love I hadn't had before. Like I feel like I can take on whatever. I'm not going to go to him and say, hey, I'd like to now get my Master of Arts in Psychology at Pepperdine. How do you feel about that? And he's going to go, no. He's like, great.
Yeah.
He's very supportive and anything. And then it's like, well, let's figure out how that's going to work. How's the schedule going to work? How's the finances going to work? But he's very much like, okay, if this is what you want, then let's figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel so incredibly supported by Jamie as well. So it's a two-way street. And why on earth would you not want to help and support your partner in a new endeavor like that? I mean, that's a pretty heavy scratch to itch. Like come home all of a sudden, I want to do another degree at this time in your career. Sure. You're like, you want to do what? So it wasn't like this. Like, I can see you do that. Let's figure that out and let's make it happen. Because if the tables were flipped, Jamie would be like, okay, what do we do? How do we get that done? So, and I think that's our relationship.
I do think that's the difference about a second marriage. I think
Yeah.
if I look back, I did not have the maturity emotionally, maybe. My ex-husband and I were both a lot younger. We both were career driven. We both wanted certain things out of life that didn't necessarily match up with one another. I don't know that we had the flexibility to be able to give, where it needed. So I do think that was a lot of my work was that when I got divorced, I went, oh, I did contribute
Yeah.
in this way,
Yeah.
and I don't want to do that again. So when you say different, it's interesting because it's like we fight and we repair and we have arguments,
Oh,
but
key, another key word, repair.
repair,
Yeah.
yes. But differences, it's,
Yeah.
I think when you go into a second marriage, there's just a lot, you think about things differently than you did your first marriage.
Totally.
Yeah.
Not that I'm advocating that people have
Like you're the
sexual.
veteran quarterback going into the game, and you've seen this play before.
Yeah.
I got this.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go about this differently.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. So what I'm hearing, that your game plan, in whether that's differences or conflict or strengths, is to really go into the mindset of how can I support? How can I support, and how can I bring my strengths to help this happen if this is something my spouse is interested in? And I love you can select differently once you know yourself. I tell people, George and I got married young. I'm not the same woman he married at that
Well, that's,
young.
you guys might be in your third or fourth marriage. Who knows?
Hey,
So, what he signed on for when I was in my 20s is not the same things that he's signing on for
Sure.
in my, I'm not sharing the other end of that, but
your second twin.
my second 20s.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
So I do like that.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing though is a part of going into a second marriage for you guys is how you're going to do it different.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same old things and expecting a different result, somebody said that's insanity, right?
Yeah.
So to approach it is, how am I going to respond different? How am I going to do things in a different way, more loving, being more kind, or whatever?
Yeah.
Helps us. And so can you guys share a season? I know you only been married a year and a half, but can you share a season that felt like a loss, right? Like all teams, especially the Patriots, dynasty team, but yet, they're going through a little loss occasionally these days, right? So if you can think of a loss, how did you overcome that loss or grow from the loss together?
I don't know if we've had big losses yet. But I'm going to go back to our couples therapy. I think that gave us an incredible, rigid foundation of where to start tackling problems from. And if things did come up, we would go back to that. And I would definitely go back to that. Where in my past days, I would be like, whatever, and I'd shrug it off and not really think about it. But now when there is a challenge or something that's uncomfortable for me, I now try and lean into that a lot more than I ever would. And that's not easy for me back prior, Doug, if you will. But I see when I do that, the energy and the growth between Jamie and I is huge. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Oh, that's
properly,
very
but
good.
Well, I mean, and to be honest, like when we talk about intention again, going back to when Doug asked me to move in with him, I looked at him and said, well, if this is leaning toward marriage, you're divorced, I'm divorced, you've got a kid. I grew up in a dysfunctional household. You grew up in a dysfunctional household. We both done our individual therapy, but to me, if that's where this is headed, we need to go to couples therapy. So it wasn't that there was anything wrong in our relationship, which is what I want to point out. It was that things were going really well and we wanted to keep growing. And I think what we found in therapy is that when moments came up that were feeling like a loss, maybe from the outside or family or other extended circumstances or jobs or whatever the case may be, we were able to get into that room and very quickly
nip it in the bud.
Figure out how to deal with it, and that now have the tools moving forward.
Yeah, that's
Maybe before it became a problem.
Yeah.
That's a viable game plan,
Yes, it
right?
is.
Like, what I love about you guys is you guys are so open and honest.
Yeah.
Like we have a therapist. His name is
Dwayne.
Like we love Dwayne. We put him in our
Wedding vows.
right? Their promises is we will always walk with Dwayne because therapy helps,
Yes.
right? And when we work on ourselves, see, some couples out there today, they probably don't think that they need to work on themselves. They think
Well,
it's her
everybody's got to
fault.
work on themselves.
But sometimes couples do think that therapy is only for when there's problems and dysfunction.
Sure.
No,
Why can't you have therapy when things are great?
that's right.
Imagine that. Going to therapy session, already things are great.
To cut
And then
things
you
off.
walk out and things are even better.
Exactly.
Love it.
And that's why I
that could
love
really
it.
be terrible,
Love
couldn't
it.
it?
They wrote this book, or I forget who's the author now, but it was called Good to Great, right?
Yeah.
And he's basically saying, why have a good company when you can have a great company? It sounds like you're saying is, why wait to have a bad marriage when you can have a great marriage
Yes.
and you can have the help that you need throughout.
It can elevate it to so many different things you just don't
Yeah.
even know about.
Yeah.
You always take your current for an oil change. There's nothing wrong with going in for an oil change, if you will, if you have to see it like that. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a good
it
thing to
is.
do.
It's definitely okay. You know, I transition here because for the sake of time, I do want to explore community because research shows that couples who have a supportive community have a better chance of success. I like that your therapist is a part of your
Oh, yeah.
community. What other mentors or friends or what other community are you building in your marriage at this time?
Well, it's funny, if you watch the show, I'm always talking about my neighbor Helena
Yes.
and her husband Michael.
Yeah.
And they have been married a very, very long time. And they've been through a lot, but I think they're two people who we really lean on and talk to and have thoughtful conversations. And they're a little bit older than us. So that has been a wonderful relationship. But all
Friends Kate and Cole.
our friends Kate and Carl, who have also, they've been through their own trials and tribulations and just were able to have a little baby boy, which we're so thrilled for them. But, I think other couples in our life, I also just think, I feel very lucky. Like, we got married in Sydney, Australia, and we had 100 people at the wedding. 50 were American and 50 were Australian.
What?
Oh, wow.
And I had one Aussie and he had one American, like, type of situation.
Okay.
But, we just have people that have really, even if they live across the country, we're getting together in the summer, we're planning vacations together, birthdays together. We just have really good friends.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and I think they really felt our intentions of being growth mates, and I think at our wedding they really felt that, and I think we're really blessed to have that, and they were so pumped. We're just so happy to be there for us.
Yeah.
They give us inspiration, I think, still.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a part of the game plan is not just therapy, but you have a community around you that you can cheer on, but they can cheer you on. And
Yes.
when you need support, they can be there to support
I mean,
you.
we could go on with names forever. But yeah.
That's
We're
amazing.
always very open and very honest too, which I think.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
I like
facade.
that. And I like that because marriage can feel like such a private thing for couples.
Yeah.
And I always say because it's private, you don't want to just only have people you go to when you have problems.
Right.
You really want people doing life with you so that they have more context and support for you. And you want people who are also trying to have this healthy marriage as well.
Well, and
Go ahead.
I've had conversations with some friends, even recently.
Yeah.
I won't name names.
Yeah.
But sometimes you tell your family too much. And even though your family is part of your community, I sometimes think you have to put them on the outer ring of the community, because if you start telling your family everything that's going on and they then start talking and then everybody's got your business and they come up with their own, idea of what's going to work and what is I that was one big thing I really had to learn. It's like, oop, they don't need this information.
Yes. And I get that because I'm a mom of some adult children. And once my daughter tells me something or
Yep,
my son
can't
tells me
unsee it.
something, I can't unknow it. And it's already done for that person, whoever treated you like that or said that. It's hard for me to come back. So
I hear you.
Well, that's awesome. Well, listen, guys, you've been married a year and a half, but let's look forward to the next 30, 40, 50 years. What type of legacy does Douglas and Jamie want to leave behind?
yeah.
Oh, that word. So deep.
So happy.
Yes.
I think what a fun couple. Genuine, fun, authentic, real
Yeah.
people that want to be incredibly inclusive of the community around them as well.
I also want us to inspire other people. I have so
hopefully
many.
people look in to see that and go, why can't we be like that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, we've had a few friends tell us who have gone through, their own divorces of, oh, you've given me hope that they're.
Yeah, I had a
We love
particular
him.
friend back in Australia that I just learnt maybe a few months back that was found out that he was going to be divorced, and literally one of the things he said, almost word for word, was like, "What's given me hope to get through this is looking at myself and you and Jamie. So to see you guys, because he was at our wedding, to see you guys to be where you are now, gives me so much hope that I can be there and I can grow through this and I can be better and I can get on the other side of this. And wow, look what could be ahead of me.
Sure.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people do lose hope. So I would hope we give a little hope.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah.
And,
And this is, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and we all need hope because
Yes.
hope affects how we work at something. If we feel hopeless, then it can impact our efforts and intentionality and our hard work to put into a growing, healthy relationship or seeking a mate
Yes.
for the future, right? So,
Yeah. Well, in our book, we talk about that if you are going to leave a legacy, you've got to begin with the end in mind, and then you start working your way back from that, right? And so,
Well,
if
see,
you're,
we don't ever want anything to end. So
Yeah.
that's our problem. When he says fun, we just want the fun to keep with us.
Sure.
Yes.
And that's a part of your win, though, is you want to have fun,
Yes,
you
I
want to
love
be,
that.
authentic, and so Jamie, Douglas, sorry, thank you so much for being here today. This has been exciting.
It has been exciting and so much. I love that, the blended family aspect. I think we know that that's a lot of questions that people write into us about is about blended family. So thank you for giving those game plans of how you guys blend. It seems like you're doing a great job blending as a family.
We try.
We do. That's what you can do.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to the Marriage Game Plan podcast, where we believe every couple can win with the right strategy.
If today's episode encouraged you, please follow or subscribe and share it with a friend, as it helps more couples find our podcast.
And if you haven't grabbed a copy of our brand new book called The Marriage Game Plan, it's about developing a winning strategy for marital success. Hey, go out and grab a copy at your online favorite bookstore today.
It is full of real talk, practical plays, and powerful tools to strengthen your marriage, which will help you win your home game.
As you go, stay tuned for our new coaching groups starting this fall.
And if this podcast is blessing your life, consider supporting the mission at journeyforlifenow.org.
Remember, we're building championship marriages.
One play at a time.
See you in the next episode.
See ya.